Is this similar to? Is, I kept there. I do functions and subjects. I do, since we were reading since we were young, we already know what the subject matter, we know what these words mean. When I do functions before subjects, I get a feel for the spatial relationships to where if I'm lost or something, or if I just want to choose to do functions before subjects, I get a spatial relationship feeling to where I can easily understand by not analyzing, because I'm still analyzing it no matter what, because I've read so many times. And when it's like a form of Russian formalism, kind of, where you scratch the surface of the words and only read the scientific devices within the writing, and you get a totally different language. It's the same thing. Subjects and functions would basically be feminine approach, more so. It's more of a trust in the convention of the meaning of words. You'd have longer lines, and you wouldn't have to explain much because it's already given you everything that you already need. This is a very masculine approach. It's one by one by one, and it creates a code. The other one, the feminine approach, creates a continuity to where when you go like this, and then you do the code, by the second or third time, if you really have a feel for the words, it'll go right back to the beginning, the first one. It's like a Rubik's Cube. You were able to solve the Rubik's Cube if you arrange it right. I've been able to do that when I first did it. It may have been beginner's luck, but I was able to do with St. Teresa of Avila. I was like 3 for 3 or 4 for 4. I'm currently like 15 for 18 or 15 for 20 or something. And if you can visualize and you have a really, really strong mind, you could probably do it with some of these things. But it's still pretty hard because it's a Rubik's Cube and the words have meaning. So it changes the effect of everything. And to do it subjects for functions is to trust in beautiful messages. Sometimes a message is so beautiful, why would you even nitpick it? But with this book and in this structure of an applied linguistics, it's a very journal-oriented, historical, but not towards the applied, towards the actual text in an applied linguistics format in this field of research. It's a process research. That's a language theory that is basically the categories as category, but really it's just resemblances and independences in terms of the distances between words, the relationship you have towards them. So since you're your own person and you got a feel for words, and the small words may have meant, connector words may have meant different things to you, connection to these things, because I can give you so many different reasons why this could be here and this could be here and this could be here, and how they could be interchanged depending on the context and whatever your morals are, your values. So in theory, anyone could always come up with their own way to do it, and it's the way they gather the words. So it's an applied linguistic focus that doesn't allow you to be a computer and just show all the possibilities. It shows you to focus on each word, and language should open up to you in a way that is independent, because you're already independent within language because of SVO and different things like that. So within this way, functions, subjects, or functions, you should have your own version of this, and you should be able to come up with your own code for it, and you should be able to give summaries based on in a way that no one else would understand. This research has stemmed towards coding in computer science. It's been seen by, it's been throughout the world, and it's inspired many people to support it. And shall we go? I'll go on for this. Let's go with this. I felt it should be alone. I could have kept it with this because is and this is like that, but I chose to make it separate because it just is. Maybe I felt like it was a strong, powerful word. Possibly that's how it feels. This this and similar is very, very similar, and two is the connection to the next. So because I would have put it here because it's connection to the next, but the next word is the, and the is such an independent word. I decided to keep this up here and keep the right here. Right now, it's very much subjects before functions. Then situation is because it does by itself, and then when. Situation could be when, but the way it felt at the moment, when was not a situation, so I'll put it right here. Which in other times it can mean it goes right here. It just depends on how you feel. It's interchangeable. It's ever present in the flow of time. Like if you're to do this today, and you felt a certain way about it, and then you did the same one tomorrow, you should try to correlate with the astrological signs to see how your internal subjective self is feeling towards the world, because these words mean things about the world and the way you take it in, to see if it correlates with the astrology symbols, reading for that day. There's a lot of different things you can do with the arrangements of this. in terms of timing and stuff. Because there's been times where I'll do it 5 minutes later and I don't feel this way. I don't feel this way at all. But I can explain why every single time, whether subjects or functions, what I'm feeling or why exactly I'm deciding to making these decisions. And the code always comes up with something coherent that is always a modern view that always signifies something. With this book, it always has. It's been consistent totally every single time I've done it. And in theory, you should be able to do this in your own way, based on your own experience of these words in a way no one else can. So, shall we go on? It's a pretty short sentence, almost done. My hand is shaky right now, and I'm really mess up the camera, but that's okay. This is reality, and I felt, I don't know, it shook a little bit, and I noticed that, and I saw how the picture was doing that, so it started shaking more because it was really light on my hand. So I decided to put it back down. Sorry if the film photography wasn't so professional. Next word is having and seen. I put it in the same place because sight is very much so everything. The Hindus said the eye is the gateway to the soul. And put it like this: if you were somewhere else in the afterlife, if there was an afterlife, and you were somewhere else, it's like having eyes. You know, it's just like having eyes. So if you end up somewhere else and you know you're there, it's the same thing as having eyes in a way. So basically, our eyes are kind of resembling, reminding us of the hereafter as well. So having seen is the same thing, and it's so holy in a way. But there's so many humans that have that, and we're in accordance to the highest level of the idealism of this book, it's God. So I stay humble with it still, and I haven't seen it in the same way. Because a lot of times, if it's supposed to be connected, because it's such a strong unity, I won't connect them. I'll put it next because it's independent and it just seems like reverence towards it and humility. By not putting it, it's indulgent to put it too much, But this is more humility, leaving it together because it's like that, and it's too indulgent to make it that holy because I'm just a single person. So, based on your understanding of words and say humility or distances or subjects and functions and subjects, and the way you think words connect, and how would you do this? Just think about it. I'll come up with the code for this, and we'll see what happens, and we'll see what this has to say.